Leaders from around the world condemning the assassination attempt of former President Trump. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the violence has no justification in the world. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi condemned the attempt and wished Trump a speedy recovery. And French President Emmanuel Macron, along with the new UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, said they were both appalled by the shooting and sent best wishes to the former president. The FBI leading a probe into the assassination attempt. They identified the dead gunman as 20-year-old Thomas Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. That's not far from Butler, where the rally took place. The FBI says he acted alone, although the motive for the shooting remains unclear. A former classmate described Crooks as a loner who was frequently bullied. However, other classmates described him as quiet but overall normal. The U.S. Secret Service facing intense scrutiny following the shooting of President Trump. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle want to know how a sniper was able to get onto a rooftop 400 feet from the stage and fire shots at Trump. And President Biden last night said the nation needs to lower the temperature in our politics. He denounced the violence on Saturday during an Oval Office address. And Trump followed that with a post on X and saying in all caps, "Unite America."
So let me play a clip of the timeline because there's a lot to unpack here. This is from NBC News. This is Tom Lamas who put this together, and I thought this was excellent to kind of step us through how everything unfolded. Take a listen.
6:03 p.m. Eastern, former President Donald Trump takes the stage at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Minutes later, at 6:11 p.m., as Mr. Trump discusses his record on immigration, the first shots ring out. Mr. Trump grabs his right ear before dropping to the ground as more rounds are fired. People in the crowd begin to scream. Multiple agents pile on top of the president to shield him from the gunfire. Their tense dialogue picked up on nearby microphones.
Hold, when you're ready, on you. Ready, move!
Seconds later, armed officers rush on stage in front of the podium. As word arrives, the shooter is down less than a minute after the first shot.
Shooter's down. Are we good to move? Let's move.
6:12 p.m., agents surround the former president as he is lifted back to his feet and overheard asking if he can get his shoes. 6:13, Mr. Trump's bloody face visible through a wall of Secret Service agents as he lifts a fist in the air, mouthing the word, fight, over and over again. As he's helped down the stairs and rushed into a waiting SUV surrounded by armed police.
And when you look closely at that video, former president turns his head to deliver his next line, and that is literally what saved his life. This wasn't just an attempted assassination. I mean, there is an image that we shared on, I think it was Instagram, right? Or at least I shared it on mine. And
Which image are you talking about?
Yeah, there's a lot of images, but there is an image, I believe it was taken by a photographer for the New York Times, of the bullet.
Oh, yes, that one's
whizzing past his head.
That's on our Instagram story at Ryan Gorman Show.
You can see, if you haven't seen this picture yet, you've got to check it out. Again, Ryan Gorman Show on Instagram. Go to our stories to see it. I also put it out on X at Ryan E. Gorman. You can see the bullet passing by. It must have been after it grazed his ear. It hit his ear as it continues on its path. I mean, that's how close we were to having former President Donald Trump assassinated right in front of our eyes at that rally.
Yeah, it is really, really crazy just how close it was.
Yeah, and then how things unfolded with him getting up and, you know, the fist in the air.
Wait.
Yep, and just those images. I mean, I can close my eyes and see them. They're just burned into our memory now. They're a part of history, and now we're at the point, where do we go from here? There are really two very different paths that we can take. One is that we start to bring the temperature down and learn how to disagree again, because there are going to be disagreements. There's no question about that. We have, you know, different visions of the future of this country. The other is that we continue down the path that we're going, and you're just going to see more and more of this. Maybe not an assassination attempt, but you're going to see more violence related to politics. That's really the fork in the road that we're at here, right as the Republican National Convention is about to kick off.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I don't know though if this is going to be an event that turns down the temperature. I mean, I know the leaders at the top are saying that. It's what you would expect them to say after something like this. But I think there's a lot of anger out there. I mean, there's a lot of people who are upset about what happened at that rally. And you could see it on the posts on social media. So there's clearly a faction of people out there who are not into the idea of unifying. They're definitely upset about what happened, and they're looking for someone to blame.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's going to be just like it is after everything horrible that happens. I mean, after 9/11, the whole country came together, everybody was united, and look where we are now. So I think, you're being a little optimistic. I feel like, which is a shock because you're usually not. I mean, yeah, we would all like to see people tone it down and get along and treat each other with some civility when we disagree. But I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to happen for a little while because it's so fresh and new and everybody's kind of jarred by it. But it's going to go right back to the same nonsense.
Yeah, I'm not saying Republicans at this convention don't point out, their disagreements with Democrats and with the Biden administration and all of that. It's how we frame those arguments and the words that we choose to use. That's what has to change. Otherwise, we're just going to be in a world of hurt in this country. This is just going to continue. We'll see. I hope, again, this has to start at the top. And then you also have to start to dismantle the outrage industry. You've got a lot of people and a lot of brands. They've built their fortunes and their fame off of dividing people and again, taking that thumb and sticking it right into the wounds here in this country. So you have that. And then you have to have the American people want to have things calm down a bit. And I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people are really tired of all of this.
Oh, yeah. When I just, talk to friends, talk to family, everybody's tired of it, no matter what they believe. Left, right, everybody's tired of it.
Yeah. But again, maybe I'm...
I don't know, Ryan.
I'm the optimist this morning. How about that? Usually I'm negative Nancy.
You sound like Neville Chamberlain. Peace in our time.
I mean, you have been getting out of your dungeon like a lot more lately. I've noticed like you're going out, doing stuff. So maybe
like
it's having an impact.
I know. Don't let me down, America. Chris Trenkmann with today's top stories. Chris, thanks so much.
Thank you.